Earlier this year, I found myself in, of all places, Wilmington, Delaware, on an overnight stopover on my way from DC to Philadelphia. I woke up, left the Super 8 across the river in New Jersey in 20-degree winter weather, and drove into downtown. I stopped at a cute little cafe in the ground floor of a generic office building. The lady at the counter asked me how my day was and if I was on my way to work. I told her I wasn't from around here. I'm from the West Coast and just passing through. But I thought the city was super cute and had a lot to offer. And she said to me, "Oh wow, it's not every day we get visitors to corny-ass Delaware." She had a sort of self-deprecating tone that I instantly recognized. She was almost proud of it. Although it was rough around the edges and not really talked about, it's still just corny-ass Delaware. I've spent much of my life living in cities just like this. The first half in California's Central Valley, where everyone is kind of both ashamed of and proud to be from there. And most of the second half in Oakland, another city that gets a lot of hate and is often overshadowed by its more well-known neighbor. These types of cities often have this weird mix of civic pride and a deep inferiority complex, but are always full of hardworking, honest people just trying to get by. Even if you're not from New York or LA or San Francisco, the city you live in can have its own sort of main character energy. So this is your sign to romanticize your shitty town, babe.
Day in the life of an Iowa driver. You can smell the sweet aroma of cornflakes in the air while on your morning commute on I-380. When out of the blue, you get a FaceTime from your bestie, Hillary. She's just chilling in Cedar Rapids with her new friend, Old Man Hayward. They just got done shopping at Raygun and are excited to show you their matching Mount Trashmore shirts. But more importantly, they have a business proposition for you. Wake up and smell the crunch berries, Hillary screams excitedly into the phone. As a plant manager at Quaker Oats, you've got access to all the best goods in the cereal game. Hayward wants to help put Iowa on the map with their answer to the popular Dubai chocolate he's seen all over TikTok. You're afraid your boss will notice you left work early with a truckload of Cap'n Crunch, but they're cutting you in for 5% once Des Moines chocolate goes viral. It was agonizing, but you're a woman of your word. You were able to score a plethora of various breakfast goodies when your manager Davenport wasn't looking. Next stop, Eastern Iowa Airport. Your 12th cousin Gooch just flew in from LA. He's got a suitcase full of 100% pure Labubu flavored chocolate bars ready to be filled. His flight just landed. He texts you a photo from the gate. You check his Finsta. Happy to see he took you up on your recommendation he pay a visit to Herky on Parade. When you get there, he's nowhere to be found. Sorry, babe, I was craving a burrito from Come and Go. Hayward got me an Uber. God damn it, Gooch. You already bought him Taco Bell for the road. Why is he always like this? You head home only to find Hillary's car parked in your driveway. Slipknot on full blast on your record player. The three of them set up a makeshift chocolate factory in your living room. How did they get in? Don't worry about that and hand over the crunch berries. But what's even worse is they're calling it Des Moines chocolate when it's made in Cedar Rapids. Why do those jerks always get all the glory?
Every little place has its quirks, hyper-specific niche things that only locals understand. Sure, you might not be from Cedar Rapids, but you can imagine your own city represented on screen in the same ways. Even if you think all you've got is big box stores, chain gas stations, and massive highways, there's a strange beauty in that. These mundane, non-places still hold weight and memories to those who frequent them. I often think back to this particular Chevron station somewhere in San Jose, or maybe it was Santa Clara. It was pouring rain in the middle of the night and I was parked there, having a hard conversation with someone I cared about. It felt like a scene from a movie. And it wouldn't hit nearly as hard if it was in Beverly Hills or Paris. No, you see, what I needed to heal me that night was San Jose's very own La Vic's orange sauce. But for you, it could be laughing with your friends, eating Skyline chili in a Cincinnati parking lot. Speaking of Ohio, if you explore the darkest corners of the internet brain rot universe, you'll know that Ohio is a state of mind.
It's giving sus Ohio NPC vibes.
When something strange, insane, or just plain bad happens, you can always say, only in Ohio. All those years ago when Baby Gronk rizzed up Livy Dunn, he did it in Ohio. Ohio became a meme in the 2020s as sort of a catch-all to jokingly describe a thing or place as bizarre.
And I dab on that boy for Ohio.
Sometimes Ohio can literally mean anything you want it to, but it wouldn't carry the same weight if we said only in New York. It's that specific reference to Ohio, a place that people who are not from Ohio don't even think about, that makes the meme so absurd. But wait, it's all Ohio? Always has been.
Day in the life of an Ohio Rizzler. After a morning shift putting fries in the bag at a Toledo McDonald's, you receive a phone call from your second cousin, John Pork. He's relapsed on bootleg once again. He says he wants a Skyline chili the Aki way with a side of still water straight out of Lake Erie and won't take no for an answer. You try to tell him that it's a 3-hour drive to Cincinnati and the Aki way's a New York thing, but Lil Bro's been in California so long he doesn't know the difference. After an endless trek across cornfields and what looks like unfinished, poorly rendered Minecraft maps with roads of questionable quality, you end up in what passes for Cincinnati these days. Pick up the chili and leave just as fast as you got there. You don't stay in Cincinnati unless you live in Cincinnati. The drivers here are crazier than anywhere else in the country. Some jerk runs into your lowered Ram pickup, so you stop and pull over to the side of the road, dreading the insurance exchange. Thank God, he doesn't have any either. Close call. On the way home, you take a detour up to Cleveland to visit your friends Euclid and Parma. You tell them about your cousin's addiction and ask them to take him to an AA meeting. After all, they were personal friends of Bill W. back in Akron. You stop in Sandusky to get the water when you run into your ex-girlfriends from your days at the Ohio State University. Well, they go by Sock now. You tell Sock you don't understand it, but you support their lifestyle nonetheless and that you'd still smash even if they look like a dude now. They said they're waiting for an important shipment, so you collect your still water and head back to Toledo. Just then you get a text from your boss. You're running late for your second job at Dollar General and you need to come in now. Those student loans aren't going to pay themselves. Guess John Pork will have to keep calling.
On the flip side, a more recent phenomenon is the ironic romanticization of the small California suburb of Cupertino. For iPhone users, it's the weather app city. And because it's basically always sunny, warm, and perfect in Cupertino, the internet did what it does best and ran with it. They've idealized it as the perfect place where nothing bad ever happens, where the pickpocketers and robbers give you money and the bullies are nice to you. God bless Cupertino. Well, Cupertino is much more than nice, beautiful, sunny weather. Cupertino. 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 So me and my good friend and South Bay native Andrea went down to Cupertino to show you all what this great city has to offer.
Welcome to Cupertino.
So this is an Apple. Basically what we did was we blackmailed the Apple Corporation into giving us lots of money. And so this is all that's left of the Apple Corporation now, is just this bit out core of an apple.
Yeah, I put apples in my sandwiches. I have a custom sandwich where I put apples in it, so that's where we use the waste. There's zero waste.
Apple Parkway. The other important part of Cupertino is the Apple Park, which we actually cannot get into. All of the Apple products that you use were not built in Cupertino, but designed in Cupertino. That's why it says designed in California. This is where they are made, right here in this city.
Oh, no, we can't go in at all.
Yeah, we went the wrong way. Can we go back out? I took a wrong turn. So we tried to get into the Apple headquarters and they wouldn't let us. They told us to left and there's a gate. Cupertino! Stevens Creek Boulevard is peak Cupertino. You have to cruise Stevens Creek Boulevard because there's lots to do there. It's very wide. It's very large.
1, 2, 3, 4 lanes. Yeah, if you're not on Stevens Creek Boulevard, are you even in Cupertino?
Look at those office buildings.
So we're about to go to the insane shopping center that they built in like the last... I feel like they built it maybe 10 years ago when I was in college.
This is the downtown of Cupertino.
This is the downtown.
This is the legit downtown Cupertino.
Yeah. I went on a really bad date there once.
Because it's warm in Cupertino, we have to take off our clothes.
Yep.
That's why the hot bitches go to Cupertino.
The weather's just great.
You can be outside, you can wear shorts, you can enjoy yourself. You can love the outdoors in Cupertino. You got some what?
Dessert? More dessert.
What kind of dessert?
It's like a black sesame filled taiyaki.
And then there's all these homes on the other side where I'm like, people probably...
What the f*** is that?
What the hell?
Ew, look at this.
Ew. The house is so weird.
Ew. Is it one whole house? Oh my God.
The houses here, the new houses, they're just so that. They're this weird, minimalist, techie kind of vibe. Orange Expressway!
This is so much ice cream. Cupertino!
Parking lot! De Anza College. Tops in transfer. We are here at Ranch 99 Market in Cupertino, California.
Cupertino. Pen, Ren, Tea House, OG Boba spot. Love it. Cupertino. Oh shoot. A lazy ass would have driven.
Every city's a walkable city if you try hard enough. You're double fisting the bobas.
Yeah, I used to do this all the time.
This is why Cupertino is the best city in the world. Yeah, the paper cup is not as fun as the plastic cup. You can kind of see on the inside, but the fun of a boba is seeing all the little floaties in it.
If you could see through the cup, you'd see the bright little colors. It's all the boba's about the fun colors.
Exactly. Welcome to Cupertino. If you're a millennial, there's a chance you've watched and rewatched The Office countless times. Part of what makes that simple show about a boring paper company so oddly comforting is its setting. Scranton, Pennsylvania, a weird mid-sized city that nobody ever thinks about. If The Office took place in Manhattan, the character of the show would be entirely different. The oddballs like Michael, Dwight, Jim, Pam, and my personal favorite, Kelly, just seem right at home in a place like Scranton.
This day is bananas, B-A-N-A-N-A-S. This day is bananas.
Despite much of it being filmed in Los Angeles, the show's use of mostly accurate local references from Scranton helped to put us in their world. And it's not just Scranton. The show references other shitty little towns like Binghamton, Stamford, Tallahassee, and Winnipeg. If you're a little younger, you may remember the Nickelodeon sitcom iCarly. While it took place in Seattle, not exactly a mid-tier city itself, there were countless references to boring, dull places as the butt of jokes. The Dorfmans, Carly's cousins who spent every year at the Fresno Raisin Parade, were mocked as weird and off-putting.
Whoa, the Dorfman's gotta hit the road.
Yes, we have a long drive to Fresno.
Right, for the Raisin Parade.
We haven't missed the Raisin Parade in 12 years.
Oslandis has a scab on his chin.
And of course, the episode where Carly's grandfather threatens to move her to Yakima with him.
Yakima's a great town.
No great town can be named Yakima. It sounds like someone throwing up.
It does.
These offhand jokes spin these places as the kind of towns you don't want to go to. They're the places the boring relatives end up, the places that you want to get out of. There is no fate worse than moving to Yakima. An underrepresented city often plays a character itself in movies, TV, and music. The surreal comedy Sorry to Bother You follows the story of Cassius Green, a young black man living in the city of Oakland, who, like many people in Oakland, has to take a dull telemarketing job to make ends meet. In order to make more sales, his coworker suggests he uses white voice.
You want to make some money here? Use your white voice. My white voice? I'm not talking about Will Smith's wife, like this young blood.
Hey, Mr. Kramer, this is Langston from Regal View.
Making himself seem more palatable and neutral to his potential customers by erasing any sort of cultural or regional mannerisms from his dialect and thus being perceived as a white man from Middle America.
As always, we'll be getting that out to you right away.
He's wildly successful at his job, and through it all, the city of Oakland is more than just a backdrop. And even the off-the-wall, fantastical scenes that show his struggles between his career and the values of his friends in the city present a story that couldn't really be told anywhere else. This one was very personal to me. I've worked those same telemarketing jobs in Oakland and had coworkers just like Cassius Green who had to show up to work as someone they weren't just to pay the bills. In the 2017 movie Lady Bird, a young girl named Christine, who calls herself Lady Bird, is desperate to get out of Sacramento and move somewhere more glamorous. She wants to go to college in a place with culture on the East Coast. The role Sacramento plays in this film is bittersweet. It's romanticized in a certain way, seen as this shitty town, but the drama and dynamics with Lady Bird's friends and family and the disappointment she feels when she's told she should just go to UC Davis is typical of any younger person trying to seek greener pastures elsewhere. California is often seen as this idealistic place or hated place, but this presents a different side of the state in a lesser-known city. It reminds you that even if you want to get out, to not forget where you came from. It just wouldn't hit the same if Lady Bird lived in San Francisco or LA. Everywhere has its strange local lore, whether that's a weird guy who seems to be everywhere in town or those odd, unexpected places with a deep backstory. Sometimes it's a dead mall, that gay Denny's, or that hill all the young people take their first dates to. And sometimes it's a bit more spiritual. Take the case of the Oakland Buddha. In 2009, fed up with people dumping junk on the median of his street, Oakland resident Dan Stevenson installed a little Buddha statue he bought at a hardware store at the corner of 11th Avenue and East 19th Street. He wasn't religious, but he thought maybe it'd be just enough of a deterrent that people would dump the old couches and desks elsewhere. He reinforced it with rebar and epoxy so that nobody would take it. At some point, the local Vietnamese community noticed the statue and started taking the area seriously, cleaning it up, and over time, built the entire thing into a complete shrine, adding on various structures and more iconography and statues, and local Buddhists visit the shrine daily for prayer, leaving offerings. This quiet little neighborhood used to be a hotbed of drugs, prostitution, and robberies. But since the shrine's installation, the Oakland Police Department has reported an 82% drop in crime in the surrounding area. While you can't necessarily say it was completely the doing of the shrine itself, there's a certain energy to this place that I can't quite explain being there. This boring residential street became a place of spiritual significance to the local population. Sometimes, a place becomes holy, not because it was built to be, but because of the people who come together to make it that way. No matter how much you might think your town is shitty, boring, or full of crime, there's probably similar stories to be told, be they local legends or just silly superstitions. The places in our towns sometimes have deep personal meaning, even if they're on the surface mundane. We map out our towns through the lens of our own lives. Every intersection and parking lot has a story to tell for someone. Remember that mental breakdown you had outside a 7-Eleven after getting fired from your job? Or that one particular bench in the park that you can't sit at anymore because you shared it with someone who broke your heart? Do you ever just drive down the street you grew up on, reminiscing about being young and having no responsibilities? Those places might be meaningless to most who pass by them, but to you, they carry the weight of memories and deep emotions. The highway you used to take to work every day floods you with dread, even though it hasn't been a part of your commute in years. People build memories in even the most generic places, and at some point, it might become too much, and you're ready to leave your shitty town behind. Maybe it's not the town that sucks, but that you never forgave it for what it did to you. It's time to leave your shitty town, babe. The jobs are gone, the dating scene sucks, the nightlife is whack, nobody gets you here. You're so much cooler than these townies. You were destined for bigger, better things. People leave these mediocre places all the time for all sorts of reasons, and you don't owe anyone an apology or a reason if you decide to pack it up and leave it all behind. We seek economic opportunities and a better quality of life. Maybe it's unsafe for you because of who you are, and for some, that might take them to a large cosmopolitan city where they can just disappear and reinvent themselves. Some of us leave because we want to. There's something beautiful about that, and some folks aren't meant to stay in one place forever. Sometimes it's not even intentional, and your circumstances change to the point where staying where you are is no longer an option, and a city chooses you. In many industries, career success can only be found if you live in a few major centers. In tech, that's usually San Francisco. In media, it's Los Angeles or New York. If national politics and journalism is your thing, you'd better be in DC. But no matter where you live, the mediocre cities you called home before will never leave you. You might become more cultured, more confident in who you are, and may never return to a place like Cedar Rapids, Scranton, Cupertino, Cincinnati, Oakland, Yakima, Fresno, Sacramento, or corny-ass Delaware. You'll always have that deep sense of pride in who you are and how far you've come. But while you're still stuck there, wanting to get out, take some time to romanticize your shitty town, babe.